I want to get this video out before the FOMC announcement later this afternoon. I'm seeing, still seeing a lot of analysts predicting lower prices for gold, and I do think that there's probably going to be an attack on the metals market right after the FOMC announcement later this afternoon. But I think you probably want to buy into that attack later this afternoon and maybe into the open on Thursday. I'll say again, a lot of people are completely ignoring that so many miners are building bullish charts, even though gold really hasn't done much yet. GDX has rallied back above the 50-day moving average. The banks attacked it last week, tried to push it back below the 50-day, but it's still holding it again today. And like I said, while there's probably a good chance there'll be an attack right after the announcement, I think that attack will be brief, and it's not going to stop the metals from ultimately rising. We've been stuck in this sideways chop for since September. You can see every time the market gets overbought on the RSI, then we come back down, but it's not embedding in either direction. We just once we get oversold, we get another bounce. The bounce is quickly sold and then again bought at the bottom. So we're just chopping here. It's a very difficult market to make money in, but at some point I think RSI will embed, and I think it's going to be in the overbought condition, and that will be the signal that the intermediate rally has begun in earnest. And I would again point out that the miners anyway have started making higher lows. You can see this low came in above this, what I think is probably going to turn out to be the intermediate cycle bottom. And then the rally rallied above this peak. So we're making higher lows and higher highs. And depending on what happens the rest of the week and next week, if GDX were to come back above this pivot here, then we would have another series of higher lows and higher highs. So I'll just run through a few charts again. This is Coeur d'Alene. This is not, this is a bullish chart. This, despite the fact that gold is not above 1465 yet, or even close to that, or 1565, excuse me. Coeur d'Alene is considerably above its September top. This is a bullish chart. And I don't think any of these bullish charts that I'm going to show you would be happening if the market was expecting gold to take a big hit, like so many analysts are still predicting. Many analysts are still looking for lower prices in gold, and these charts, I'm going to say that 2 or 3 months from now, after gold has is well into its intermediate rally, we're going to look back at these charts and say, why didn't we pay attention to what the miners were trying to tell us? Again, here's a chart of Hecla. Again, bullish chart, considerably above its September peak. Newmont is threatening to break out above its August and September peak, even though, like I said, gold isn't above 14 or 1565 or even close to it, still $100 away. But very bullish action in one of the majors, Newmont Mining. The other major, Barrick Gold, holding this breakout from this descending bullish wedge. A streamer, Franco-Nevada, just a sideways, very bullish sideways chop as this correction has progressed. And I could show you several more charts, but you get the picture. Many of the miners are behaving very bullish, even though gold hasn't really rallied. And I think traders should probably pay attention to this, because I think this is a prelude to another strong rally in gold. And I'm not sure you're going to do yourself any favor by listening to the analysts continuously predict lower and lower prices for gold. This is just what happens during intermediate corrections. People get bearish, but the correction in gold so far, at least, has been a very bullish correction, mostly just a sideways to slightly lower drift that has corrected over time rather than with a steep, significant pullback. All right, so the next big obstacle is going to be to get back above this 50-day moving average. The gold was attacked last week. To prevent that from happening, I don't know that the banks are going to be able to stop it this week. They'll try again on the FOMC announcement, most likely, but I think the banks are going to get caught in another short squeeze, and it's going to produce another very strong trending move, very similar to this one, in my opinion.